We gather at a critical time for humanity and for the planet, an era of profound challenges, but also unprecedented opportunities. As we embark on today's agenda, I invite each of you to bring your full selves into this space. The GRLI is not just a foundation, it's a movement, a collaborative inquiry into what is possible when we lead with responsibility and act with purpose. So I want to revisit the 5 pathways that we introduced in 2020, which have been instrumental in guiding GRLI's work. Thank you for being part of this journey, and thank you for your unwavering commitment to making a difference. Let's begin.
The clue is in the name. Globally Responsible Leadership Initiative. What does it mean to be global today? What does it mean to be responsible? When I reflect on the ecosystem approach we have, I would say we're very light on power, but we're quite, I would say, deep on truth. We hold as a space for people to really reflect on what is true for them, what is meaningful for them.
Remember that ecosystemic approach means you can't do it alone. And when I talk about not having power in my position, when I find others who share the same mission, that is a form of power in itself.
It's a bit of a decisive time, but I also think it's a huge opportunity, especially coming at it from a business perspective. The opportunity is to frame these issues in ways that are sticky, that get us past the partisan culture war stuff.
We're increasingly operating in a globally distributed and asynchronous way. We're engaging across multiple platforms and networks and initiatives. There's a need to get existing and new partners and associates up to speed.
So the importance for global responsibility and really thinking about this in the global context and being global citizens is so critical at this particular time. So how might we work together across our networks when a lot of different groups are doing different things?
We've launched the UK's only graduate certificate in cooperative education, basically executive education for cooperative leaders, which is important if you believe in a more equitable form of governance within the market economy. And one thing that was just came out from the discussion, I've mentioned that it would be great to restore the collective or cooperative sustainability graduate module.
Focused on identifying the poly-crisis economy and how we can shift that to the new economy that is sustainable in a very global manner, and the different kinds of thinking that are required to make that shift.
We got 2 or 3 interesting things in Porto. We have an InsureHUB, which is running innovation, sustainability, mostly regeneration issues. We partner with our biotech school, and we have top investigators looking to circular economy problems and going to the regeneration part of it. Okay, we launched, which we think was the first postgraduate course in sustainability and regeneration in Católica Porto Business School.
I believe the vision for Be the Tipping Point is bold. 2026, we envision to have a network of 100 change makers from business schools worldwide, collaborating, experimenting, and radically transforming course content and programs to meet the demands of regenerative economy. How does it scale? From those 100, the work will cascade. The idea is for each change maker to inspire 2 other institutions and support them in the process of change, and those will do the same for another 200. And within a few years, we will have over 700 schools, which is more than 40% of AACSB and EFMD's combined membership.
The organizations that came together to be co-PIs on the grant, and then the work that GRLI did in getting so many other organizations to sign on, that's really one of the first big signs we've had of true collaboration of networks that are all interested in the same thing. So if we don't lose that momentum and we can build on that, I certainly am making it a very important aspect of what we're doing for the International Association of Jesuit Business Schools. We'll continue to keep those that organization connected with GRLI and the others. So let me just do a quick plug for a concept that we're going to be bringing to Los Angeles in 2026, same time of year that World Cup will be in Los Angeles. We've also offered to host a GRLI cohort at the other end of the week. And then in between, we got commitment from the World Trade Center and LA Economic Development Corp to host a convening where we all get together with leading companies that are MNCs and the consular corps, of which there are over 150 countries that are represented in LA's consulate corps. So I think as we look down the pike of the kinds of things that can happen, that's the sort of thing that can really drive home the tipping point and hopefully entice a lot of the schools and partners that come to these events that 1 week of, okay, now I'm ready to become one of the schools that becomes a change maker. I'm now in the process of trying to get some corporate sponsorship for that week so that we can help folks who may be at schools that might not have the funding to come to LA, that we can help underwrite some of that funding.
How do we ensure that not only the major global entities, the global accreditors and networks, but also the regional entities have an opportunity to shape a collective agenda, if you will, for what one might call globally responsible business education.
As long as the money drives things in terms of collection of tuition to perpetuate the status quo, it's really difficult to see how we get this sort of larger structural change. We have to think about this in a way, that sort of theory of change, how we're actually going to drive the kind of real structural change that needs to happen. I think we need to bring alumni back, people who are out there in the business world who would have credibility, because I just don't see how we move the, as long as the incentive system is the way it is in terms of faculty promotion and tenure.
We had a general conversation talking about activation, exploring, and stewarding. I think one of the unique ideas that came out of was the notion that if you were a change maker and you were activating by developing a specific new curriculum, even though the model of the tipping point is then you adopt to schools and pass the learning on, we talked about the possibility of a schools working in tandem as they are collaborating to create curriculum. Within the 100, you would partner with another school just to keep that momentum going. In other words, you're not just doing it in your school, you're doing it in tandem with a partner school.
There's a challenge in how we both form and sustain community. And especially as the work of the GRLI is expanding and growing and relationships are expanding and growing, et cetera, how do we maintain community as a basis upon which we work collectively?
I'm always surprised that after those years, GRLI is the same safe place. And it's just amazing. We are in lots of networks, and we know that the governance change, the people change, and the spirit change. And sometimes in this crazy world, it's nice to have something which actually doesn't change.
Was that I heard multiple times that we must move beyond asking what's in it for me and asking what's in it for all of us. So GRLI is called to shift from the I to the we to the all of us, offers potentially a pathway to deeper and more profound collaboration. But it's a call that must travel beyond GRLI.
Amanda Goodmanson is leaving us, and Amanda is the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law in Queensland University of Technology. She's been a tremendously good colleague through the years and also a great contributor to GRLI.
I'm moving completely out of higher education, but it's been my absolute joy to have been involved with the GRLI for the entire time that I've been, almost the entire time I've been at QUT, and we've seen a lot of change, a lot of impact in our business curriculum as a consequence of this global network. So I'm very grateful for having been a part of this very incredible group of people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for your efforts. On another positive note, it's great to welcome Raul as a member of the board. Raul Villamarin Rodriguez is Vice President at Voxen University. Raul and Voxen are both extremely dynamic in the way they act, and so we have high expectations for your contributions to the board, Raul.
Thank you so much. A bit of background both about myself and the institution, in case there is not much awareness on the second part. I'm a cognitive psychologist by training, not by practice, primarily because I work in the area of consumer behavior. Woxen was originally a school of business. That's how it started. A large school of business, more than 3,000 students full-time originally, and then expanded into a university. For us, aspects such as ethics, responsibility, sustainability, societal welfare are not really a feel-good activity or that we have an option about. For us, both from the curriculum, the activities, as well as at the larger level of the leadership, our main focus and financial investment, as well as departmental activities, go into that, societal welfare, in various aspects, from women to children, to different rural areas, building schools from nowhere. So things of this array is what we do as practical projects and is led by the students. And this is what we want to also advocate through the GRLI and also create that GRLI advocacy in the country.
Thank you for joining, Raul. We very much look forward to the collaboration.
We just want to acknowledge the great work that Sheila Killian's been doing as a member of the audit subcommittee. Sheila had the vision at the time also to bring a number of groups together at an event called Common Good, Common Ground, which to a large extent helped inform our ecosystem stewardship work. We also give our partners a snapshot of our financial commitments and planning for next year. This is the budget, which we will also circulate after the call for input. We operate a fairly steady state budget. There are no increases envisaged in terms of partner or associate contributions. Also, given current global context, although there are a huge amount of things that we would like to do next year, and we can always benefit from additional revenue streams, we are sticking with a conservative approach to ensure that the foundation remains financially stable. We'd like to also thank our audit committee chaired by Stephanie Bryant of ASCSB and supported by both Amanda Goodmanson as the board member and then Sheila Killian until now as the partner representative. Stephanie, of course, this is a good opportunity if you wanted to add anything around our audit, which I believe we received a clean audit again this year.
There was nothing unusual, no significant items of variance or variability. I hate to lose both Sheila and Amanda. They're both quite experienced. So I'll just use this space to say, if any of you have an interest or a financial background, I would welcome you to send John and myself a note and let us know of your interest, because otherwise we will draft you.
The current purpose of the Guardians Group is to work on behalf of the Council of Partners and with the support of the Senate and the Board to uphold the vision, mission and the operating ethos of the GRLI, and to ensure that all those three elements are actively supported and acted upon and visible, with a willing to be challenged and to challenge, and freely contributing to the development of the GRLI Council of Partners. Our stewardship model, at least on paper, is therefore due for an update to reflect the direction of this work. So the current Guardians will continue to serve through to the end of 2025 or sooner, but not before we have had time together to review the terms of reference for the next phase. During this period, the Guardians will work collaboratively to renew these and align our ways of working to the evolving and new needs of what guardianship looks like for the GRLI as a whole. We are piloting a co-chair model for 2025 to ensure that we have a balanced leadership, stronger coverage during the transition and a long-term approach to succession. And I'm pleased to share we've already received an application from Paolo at Catherine and Porto, who we're glad to welcome as our first Guardian-elect for the next phase of our existence. So, Paolo, your energy, perspectives and commitment are going to be essential in shaping this next phase, as are all of the ideas, new ways of thinking and contributions of our current Guardians.